Top of the day to you. This is Esther Davis from Dallas, Texas. Today we are going to have a very, very informative show about questions that we have been receiving about the recent gas explosion here in Dallas in a low-income apartment area. It made the national news, which also sort of woke us up a little bit. And when I say woke us up, because I have just a couple of statistics about the low-income community in some of our major cities. And this is very, very important because the way we handled the one here had to be one of the most outstanding ones. I need to take a call from Tennell Atkins, and I'm going to ask Councilman Atkins to just log on with the number that I sent you, and we'll be waiting to talk to you. So he's going to log on, and while we're waiting for him, let me just tell you how big our low-income apartment rental housing is, because I had no idea we were probably that high. Just in Houston alone, we have about 47,000 affordable apartments for rent. That's in Houston, Texas. That's our largest city in the state of Texas. In Fort Worth, which is our sister city, not too far away, they have about 20,000 low-income apartments for rent. Now, they break this down in a whole lot of different categories. So we did just a snapshot of the rentals that have low-income people in them. In Dallas, we have 30,000, a little over 30,000.
Miss.
Hello, Councilman. Welcome to the Esther Davis Show. Welcome to Community Affairs Network. We're so pleased to have you. Now, hang on for just a minute. I need to introduce you because what we decided to do is take a look at the low-income apartments around the state of Texas. So I was really started giving my audiences some information on how many we have, where they are, and how serious this problem was that we had here in Dallas. But before you logged on, I was telling my audiences how you handled Dallas, which was national news. So again, I'm definitely pleased to have you on. We want to talk to you. We have been getting all of your updates and all of the information. But good morning. Let's start there first of all. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I have a long weekend and still having long hours, and we're still trying to relocate these over 200 families, 200 members to new long-term extended stay hotels. We are still working in progress.
Can we start up? Let's start all over again because the explosion is now about, 10 days old, roughly?
Yeah, roughly about 10 days, yes.
Oh, it happened early in the morning. I understand you were one of the first people on the scene. And what was going through your mind? What happened when you got there?
Well, the first thing on the scene, one thing, Miss Davis, that my community office is in the old library.
It sure is. Yes, right there, and within the block,
right?
The same block, isn't it?
Yeah, about a block over. We got a phone call before 11 o'clock and said there was an explosion. We heard the explosion, but we didn't know what was going on, and we had to evacuate my office. And we left my office to move to the new Highland Hills Library. Mm-hmm. And from there, we left there. Myself went there to look at the damage that was caused. It was chaos. My main concern was you had 4 firemen was sent to Parkland Hospital, and we still got 3 are still in serious condition. They are talking. They're going to be a long time to recover. We have
3 firemen still in the hospitals with long-term care that they're looking forward to.
Yeah, that's correct. And we're going to make sure that we keep their privacy there. After we're not going to identify who they are, but we all have our prayers, for them. And we also thankful that no one, was no life.
Absolutely. No one lost their lives. My guest is
But the
the Honorable, just one moment before I have to identify you because we're putting up pictures and you're listening to Esther Davis. My guest is the Honorable City Councilman from the City of Dallas, Tennell Atkins, District 8. And we all know him. He's known all over the country. We're talking about the gas explosion that happened in Dallas about 10 days ago. But more importantly, we want to let you know how important it is that we update these low-income apartment units and how many there are in the state of Texas. Now, of course, Dallas is one of the largest cities in the state. But before the councilman logged on, I mentioned that Houston has more than 46,000 affordable apartments for rent. Fort Worth has about 20,000. Dallas has 30,000. And nationally, you can imagine we have about 8 million low-income properties for rent. The number one question that we have had is who owns the apartments and how responsible are they for keeping them updated? So I'm talking to City Councilman. He's going to answer all of these questions for us.
Okay. Well, let me first put out that I really didn't care who owned the apartment. My main concern was the resident who got displaced. My main concern was one apartment building was completely destroyed, and there were two other apartments that going to take maybe 36 days to get repaired. And there was a gas main. There was a gas main that supplied gas to all the units that no one had hot water or could not cook. My main concern that trying to relocate those residents, even though it is the apartment owner's responsibility, but it's also, I thought, a responsibility as a council member, that as a community, especially low income, where would these people go? And they need a safe haven, and I think it was the right thing for me and also the city of Dallas, the city manager, the city attorney, the city council realize this is in the unserved area, a low income area. Where do they go? And my main thing is to make sure they go somewhere. And we did send those 200 some odd citizens to a hotel. We provide food, we provide clothing, gift cards. There was numerous nonprofits that helped us out for the first 4 days, and we kind of sent a stay. Then this past weekend, as you know, when you have reservations for a hotel, and the rumor was out there, well, you got to move these people somewhere because the Texas OU game. Now, that's a false rumor. The reason why we moved them, because when you go to a hotel, you make reservations, someone says, you know what, I got reservations for tomorrow, you got to move out of the hotel. So that's a common deal. But what we did was we said, okay, if we got to move these people out of these 3 different hotels, let's move into one hotel. So we moved all those residents to the Amato. And we moved roughly about we rented 800 rooms. We have over 200 residents there, and we fed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We had meeting rooms there to nonprofit to make sure those people are safe. And guess what we're doing now? You know, even though the apartment owner got to do the repairs, but my concern is the resident, the low-income families. So today at 11 o'clock, they got to move out of the Amato. Now, where do they go now? So right now we say, okay, now it's still the apartment owner, but we're not going to throw these residents out in the street because it's low income. So what we're doing is we're doing 7-day extended stay to the extended hotel that you can cook in the hotel room. They got a living room, a bedroom, a bathroom. Now you can be more as your own apartment, the extended stay like a Hawthorne Suite or whatever those apartments. So we don't secure those apartments, those hotel units that had extended stay they can go to. So they be moving to those today after 11 o'clock. So we are not putting those people back in the street. So my main thing is to make sure that they have a comfortable place to stay before they go back to the apartment. But also the responsibility of the landlord, you know, to make sure they do the return right.
That's been one of the most important questions, Councilman.
But the key is, I cannot worry about the landlord. I got to worry about these residents. And the people who worry about the landlord to get there is our inspectors, Atman Energy, and they got to go talking. They got to pull a permit. We got an inspect deal. And we also got a railroad commission who got to inspect the Akron Energy. Once they said the gas going to be turned on, then up to the apartment owner to repair the building, to make sure all the apartments is don't have no gas leak. They got to make sure the building that is destroyed to be repaired, best with supplies and material got to fix. And he got to get a timeline when he going to fix his unit. But in the meantime, my concern is the resident, but it's really his responsibility to do this. But thankful to all these nonprofits out here and people like you, Esther Davis, that telling, getting the word out. This is a low income situation, but we're doing the best we can.
You're doing an outstanding job. You're actually doing an outstanding job. The timeline is what we wanted to get people clear on, because we wanted to take care of all of the rumors that are out there about they had to move out because of Texas OU. So that's why I needed to talk to you. I absolutely had to talk to you. Thank you so much.
The Texas OU game was a game that the rumor came out we had to move out. As you know, again, the hotel people make reservations. And those reservations were full, and they have a right to say, hey, you got to move out because of reservations. But we didn't take into consideration, so we just moved into another hotel, and we said move into another hotel, and they were all together at Anatole. And we provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In the meantime,
and you provided emails to the people that were concerned. I'm holding one of your emails here now that's dated October 6th, and it says, we're moving to the Anatole, and this was Thursday, October 7th. A new hotel room will be provided for you at the Hilton Anatole. So all of these things and all of this coordination and all of the efforts that went into making everyone comfortable, how do you feel about the progress so far and the future?
Well, I feel like the progress so far is great. I think we, the city of Dallas, doing a great deal. I think that it's up to the apartment owner to make sure that he gives his plumbers and repair people to give us a timeline, and it's kind of difficult, because there are 3 phases to this. You got one person who lost everything. That's one unit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then you got 2 more units that need to be repaired. So you got one unit that lost everybody. If we made the seven units in there who lost everything, then you got the other 2 units that got to be repaired. And when they do get repaired, it might take 2 months. So they all displaced. So we got to make sure those people to get a place to be relocated, and through the Dallas Housing Authority, or new vouchers, or whatever, before those units get ready. Then you got the rest of the apartments there do not have gas. And they don't have gas, they cannot cook, they don't have hot water. Now we got to find out, the apartment owner got to make sure how long it's going to take for you to repair these damaged units so Atlas can turn the gas on. I don't know that. That's up to the apartment owner, then up to the city of Dallas to inspect, to make sure everything is safe before you call them back in. But in
that whole unit there, Councilman, in that entire area, how many total apartments are there? There are 4 buildings, right?
It's about 100 units.
100 units.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So basically you have families in 100 units, but how many is that apartments or is that buildings?
When I say units, that's apartment rooms. So it's about 100 units. It's a 100-unit apartment. So out of 100 units, some was already vacant. All 100 units were not occupied. Some was vacant. But what we did was we offered service for everybody in that whole unit to go to the hotel. We did not let out, okay, you don't have to go here. We let everyone go to the hotel. And we took everybody. Some residents still staying in the apartment, but they don't have any hot water, because they don't have any gas. They chose to stay there. Someone had an option to go to the hotel, in which they went to the hotel. So we did that, and we still provide hotel stay for them. So as of this morning, today is the 12th, we sent out another release, and this is what I'm going to read it to you.
Okay, thank you.
We, the city of Dallas, share your pain and frustration of being displaced from your home. We have used all available resources to ensure you have a safe place to live since September 29th. due to the loss of your primary residence, continue our outgoing care. The Citadel will provide one additional week of accommodation at a different hotel that will have a full kitchen for your use, with the provision of City provide meals within Alpha breakfast on Tuesday, October the 12th. That's the date.
Right.
All residents will be required to check out of the Anatole Hotel on Tuesday, October 12th, before noon. And the new hotel assignment, as if needed, will be communicated to you individually based on your family structure. We encourage and urge you to plan for and make alternative accommodation beyond October 19th in case your current drug is not available for you and or your family to move back in. Please call this number. This is a very important number, 214-670-4275 with any question. That number, 214-670-4275, if you had any additional questions. So we are still going to accommodate these people for another 7 days until we find out what's going on with the repair.
This is Ester Davis on the Community Affairs Network, and I'm talking to the Honorable Tennell Atkins, the City Councilman, District 8. And he is giving us an update on the gas explosion that happened in the southern sector of the city, Highland Hills Apartments. But more importantly, he's setting an example for a national discussion on our low-income care, our low-income people, and how we are to take care of them when something like this happens. Councilman, do you have any idea if any of the tenants or residents have insurance on any of their properties?
Well, that would be another question that you had to deal with apartment owners. There's a whole lot of rumors that said that those residents don't have insurance, rental insurance, and some people said, well, they don't have rental insurance. Some say they do have rental insurance, and only one would know that would be the apartment owner who could answer that question. And some of the residents say they didn't have it, so that would be a question between the resident and the apartment owner, and that's our issue. I know the apartment owner is saying, hey, well, you can come back to these units if you want to. We have other units, but you also got the fear of the uncertainty that say, I'm hesitant to go back there. So I don't want to get into that. My main concern is the residents who got displaced. What we as a city, and I think we're a great city. We have the Katrina, we had all this winter storm, and we had many crises here. But in a low-income apartment complex, I think the city is doing something we've never done before. We've never done this before since I've been here. I don't think you can recall.
No, I don't remember a gas explosion in a low-income area.
And I don't think we never had a city of Dallas said in the apartment complex we go in and take care of those people. I think it was the right thing to do, and it will cost taxpayers money. And I think that if I had to do it all over again, I keep doing it until we figure out how we set aside money that seems like they do help that these low-income families that we got to take care of.
How does the community step up to the plate? What type of response have you had from the community?
I think the community stepped up. I can say Bon Air Church, Mount Tabor, those churches said, hey, drop off gift cards. Some of the nonprofits done step up and giving people gift cards. I think them did great as a community. It's so many nonprofits. I'm not going to mention. I started mentioning one, then I forget the other. But there's numerous nonprofits. Exactly. And there are numerous individuals who don't step up. But one thing that I'm trying to make sure that each and every one of those residents, and the member that the nonprofit would talk to them directly. I want to make sure that those nonprofits given to those residents. I know a whole lot of other people in the city of Dallas need help. A whole lot of other nonprofits, a whole lot of other low-income housing needs help. But let's take care of these people first. Sometimes that the people really need it. Sometimes we forget about them. We start helping everyone else and forget the one who lost everything. Let's try to take care of those first.
Yeah, that's devastating. They lost everything.
And this is what the city of Dallas said. Let's take care of this apartment unit. We know we got issues. We know that this is not our responsibility, but humanity is humane. This is a humane thing to do, and this is what we're going to do because these are people who live in the city of Dallas, and the city of Dallas is a great city, and we want to make sure that we touch our own people. And I think that's what the churches and the non-profits and the residents, that's something that you yesterday is putting out there that we can take care of our own. And we will take care of our own. And as a long city council, I am going to take care of those people because my office is right in the middle of this neighborhood with all these low-income apartment complexes, which have been here for 60 to 70 years, that need to be turned down. We need to build something new. So we got to take care of our own.
I'm glad you brought that up, Councilman, because that was the other concern. Most of us remember how old those apartments are. And they've been there since what? How old are these apartments?
I know they've been there since the 60s, or maybe 70s, 60s or 70s, so they're at least 50 years old. At least 50 years old. I know they was there when I was still in high school. I've been in high school over 50 years, so I'm telling my age, hey,
Oh, but that's a good thing. Age is glory.
Right.
I've had to talk to some of the neighborhoods because the apartments, do low-income apartments have any inspections on a regular basis, like nurseries, like nursing homes and schools? What does the city require of low-income owners?
Okay, let's say more than the low-income owner. Let's say to the point that the apartment owner have a responsibility, and the city of Dallas code inspector have responsibility to inspect these apartment units. We both got a responsibility. There are so many apartments in the city of Dallas. As you know, there are thousands of apartments in the city of Dallas. Do we have enough code inspectors to inspect every unit every month or every year? You do the numbers. It takes a little time. So therefore, we got to make sure that these apartments, the older units, got to be inspected, and we got to make sure that we know what is going on, and do they pass inspection? And some apartments, get citations, they get on probation, they get a red tag,
Sure.
tag, they got to come back and fix it. But these units right here, I cannot say, when was they inspected, when they were not inspected. The only thing I said, once we do an investigation, we still got our ongoing investigation of the unit. We still an ongoing investigation, so I don't want to get too far over my skis because I don't know what's going to happen out of this investigation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The Honorable Tennell Atkins, great city of Dallas, we're talking about the gas explosion in southern Dallas about 10 days ago. He has put together a charade of wonderful people, that volunteers and agencies that are making sure these residents are comfortable and are taken care of. I heard on the news, I read in the paper, one last question, Councilman, that the children had already gone to school. Do you have any idea what the ratio is between the senior citizens in this apartment complex and the children?
No, but let me put it in kind of perspective. This explosion happened, and the children was at school.
Right.
Just imagine the kids come home was in that one particular unit that they lost everything, and the other two units was really damaged. They didn't know what they came to. So I put myself in that place that if a one kid with 5 kids, with 20 kids, whatever, we need to take care of all the kids. I am working with DISD to make sure those kids who's at Jay and Irving School, Kennedy Carey School, or Wilma Hudson School, that we're going to try and make sure they got transportation to get back and forth from the hotel. But the mission, there were some kids that go to DISD, and I am working with DISD and also the trustees to make sure those kids get back and forth to school. But also, we got to think about this incident that happened, that some people need counseling.
Yes, they're going to need counseling.
They're going to need counseling. I mean, it's going to be some psycho. I hate to head it, but it's going to be some mind changing, comfort levels that they got to go through and to get there. So we got all the comfort. You know, we need some faith-based community. They need some prayers on there, and especially those kids going back to school. But luckily, they was not there when it happened. That's a good thing. They was
That
not
is
there.
a good thing. One of the parents put special emphasis on that. And that's why I appreciate your time so much, because we need to get the correct information out to the people. We have a wide net of people around the globe that listen to our shows and to our media. And this is very, very important because your example, Councilman, is resounding and your quick action. So the comments from the community are about how you completely took charge of everything and you still are taking charge. So that is the best thing. We have to have leaders. We have to have leaders that understand. We have to have leaders that are on the ground ready to go to work and do the necessary work it takes to get everybody placed, not displaced. So tell me this. You just read the latest memo to me from the city of Dallas, and we want to, of course, be a part of, I'll keep informing the public of the correct information, not the rumors that are flying around. Tell us what you would, in a final statement, let us know what the community, I know they need this, they need that. For permanent placing, are they going to need more low-income housing? And that answer, I probably have the answer to that one. Or what else are you, for long-term care, what are you proposing?
Well,
That the
I'm
community does,
proposing.
not the city, not the agencies, that the community can get involved in.
I think the community first can get involved. First, they can call the number 214-670-4275. And others deal with the people who done lost everything, who've been displaced. And there will be a manifest that you can get in contact with those residents. They've been very
Good.
open to talk to everybody and get to know their family. Maybe someone might want to adopt a family to help them to get out of this situation, to go to a better place. Maybe it's an opportunity to say, hey, I can move them to another apartment or whatever. I don't know, but we don't know because each the family got a different need. So before you get in there, let us identify what family needs what and where they want to go. And it's just like anything with your family, Elsa. You got some people say, you know what I need? If I could have a bed, guess what? If I had a gas card, guess what? I had this here. I can make it. You know that they not welfare individuals. They just need to lost something. They need to get a step up. So I think each one be an individual, an independent need. Everybody's gonna be different because we all different.
The Honorable Tennell Atkins of the City of Dallas, District 7,
Hey,
and then right now you're
hey,
all over the district. District 8,
hey.
you're taking care of everybody. I just wanted
Thank
to, again, thank you for your time, and I want to
you.
do this again. I know that we
Okay.
will do the e-blast. We'll do all of the things that we do to inform the
Okay.
public of the correct.
Okay.
And I want to remind everybody that's listening before the councilman leaves, this is October. So we have November, December, January, and February. We have the winter months to go through with these families and the children. So we want to make them comfortable. And most of all, let them know that we care about their dilemma. How's everything else at the city? Thank you for the budget.
Everything's going. Well, we through with the budget. Thanks for the federal government. We got money. The budget is balanced, and right now we're trying to make sure all the residents on our street get fixed, and make sure we have more police officers, code officers, everything else. So the new budget started October 1st, and so just a new year, and we just go forward. So just a shout out anybody out there want to get in contact with me in my office. You can call me at 214-670-4066. Again, that's
Repeat that again for me. Repeat that again for me, please.
214-670-4066. 214-670-4066. And that Maria Salazar, that's my liaison. You can get in contact with anything you want to talk about.
Thank you so much, Councilman. You are the best. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you
Thank
really
you.
soon. I would like to do this again next month. Let's say close
Anytime.
to about this same time. Let's see where we
Thank you.
are.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Don't go away. I'll be right back. It's Esther Davis.
The Ester Davis Network is sending condolences and prayers to the family of Michael Anthony Johnson, who was born on October 5th, 1962, went to be with our Lord on October the 5th, 2021, on his birthday. Michael Johnson, rest in peace in the arms of our Lord.
We're in the middle of the state fair here in the city of Dallas, so come on down to the state fair. More importantly, we have some serious announcements that we will be doing on this broadcast. So don't go away. Stay with us. Stay tuned. And by the way, you really are the greatest audience in the world. We'll see you next time on the Esther Davis Show. Thank you.